of the opposition has the call, and the topic is on fuel supply.
Thank you, Speaker. I rise this morning to speak on this really critical matter of public importance and to follow on from some curious but non-committal responses earlier today. There's no doubt that front of mind to all Tasmanians right across our state, whether they be in our cities, in our regions or on our Bass Strait Islands, that fuel security and fuel price, understanding fuel contingencies and the plans that this government have for Tasmanians is critical and front of mind and already impacting Tasmanian households, Tasmanian businesses, our farmers, our fishers, our transport industry right across Tasmania. Now, I had the opportunity to ask the Minister this morning about his plans should any future shipments be delayed, be missed or be reduced, and the Minister wasn't able to present a plan to Tasmanians. Now, the Premier hasn't been on his feet over recent days giving updates to Tasmanians about assurances. Tasmanians want assurances. They want to know that this government is prepared and that they will act in Tasmania's best interests when future shipments are either delayed, reduced or missed in the worst case scenario. And Tasmanians aren't hearing that. Industries aren't hearing that. And the Minister for Agriculture, although clearly very passionate, obviously connected to agriculture, wasn't able to take the step to say that agriculture would be determined as a priority sector if there are shortages, if fuel shipments are missed or if there are delays. And that's the question front of mind to so many people across Tasmania right now, across so many sectors, but particularly with agriculture. We know that there are farmers in Tasmania that are already making decisions to plough in crops and making decisions, multi-generational farmers who have always farmed, making decisions not to plant in the coming season. One, because they don't know whether they'll have the fuel to harvest, or two, they don't know whether they'll have the fertiliser to assist the growing season. Now, these are critical issues for Tasmania, not just because of the farmers themselves and their communities and the role that they play in their communities, but it's also critical to the Tasmanian economy and to Tasmanian families. We know that if crops are ploughed back in, if future crops aren't grown, then that's going to have a massive impact on prices in the supermarket shelves and at the grocery checkouts for Tasmanians who are already under pressure with cost of living experiences right across Tasmania. We know that many households in Tasmania are already experiencing food insecurity. They're already vulnerable when it comes to cost of living pressures, and right now what Tasmanians expect is this government is front-footed on this and that they have a plan. When any questions have been asked, this government have talked about the national plan, they've talked about commercial plans, but they have not talked about their own plan. And in fact, last parliamentary sitting week, it took the entire week of questions for this government to act. Not on day one, not on the Tuesday, not on the Wednesday, not even through the Thursday, but late into the night on Thursday, finally under pressure, they decided, you know what, maybe we should do something about this. That is the classic approach that this government take to any issues, whether they be routine issues or whether they be crisis in Tasmania. This government don't act and they leave things till too late, and it's Tasmanians that pay the price. So we say today, and I'm going to re-ask the question of the Minister, who is not in the chamber when we're dealing with fuel supply issues here as this matter of public importance, but I'm going to re-ask the Minister right now. Do you declare agriculture as a priority sector? And if and when future shipments are either delayed, whether they're reduced or they're missed, do you have a plan for what will happen in Tasmania? Do you have a plan for how fuel will be distributed, where priorities will be made? We've heard this morning the Deputy Premier talk about his understanding of fuel supplies on King Island, but both of our Bass Strait Islands, we talk about, and the government talked about we being an island off an island. Well, those islands off this island off an island are under pressure, and we know that on the Flinders Island community they already heavily rely on diesel for their energy certainty and security on the island. Tasmanians want to know, is this government front-footed? Will they be upfront? They said that they would provide daily updates, and then there has been crickets. We expect that there is a plan. We know that industry sectors like ag have been asking daily for the government's plan. What is your plan? What can Tasmanians expect? They need to have assurances that you have their best interests at heart, not just for fuel, not just for fertiliser, but because of the impacts that will happen at the grocery checkout as a result of your inaction if we don't get this right. Tasmanians rely on you. They want to know that there's a plan. You have a chance now with this matter of public importance to come to your feet and assure Tasmanians that there is a plan if future shipments are delayed, reduced
Your time has
or
expired.
missed.
Honourable Deputy Leader of the